welcome back to my channel. My name is Nika and today we're gonna be talking about aliens. Aliens. Now, before I get into what actually happened in this scenario, I just kind of want to give a couple of little disclaimers about myself and about things involving this whole thing. So number one, as an adult, aliens aren't a thing I think about a whole lot, and it's not because I'm like anti-universe and science and stuff like that. It's not something that naturally comes to my mind when I'm just idle and thinking about things. Like, there's just other stuff on my mind. What do I need to clean next? What can I do to avoid cleaning? Which this is what this is. This video is to avoid cleaning. Oh my gosh, what did my dog just do? Stuff like that is generally what I'm thinking about when I'm idle. Also tacos. I like tacos a lot.
But I need tacos! I need them or I will explode!
And also, like, as a Christian, you know, a lot of my beliefs about the universe are more centered around that. Does that mean there's nothing out there? No, I just don't know, and it's just not something I'm immediately concerned with. So, you know, if you're from church and you're like worried, I'm good, okay? I'm good. Okay, number two. When I was a kid though, I thought aliens were the coolest thing ever. Like, I was obsessed, and it was kind of weird. I was a weird kid. Like, I think I've made that very clear on this channel. I was a really weird kid. I didn't play Barbie Goes to the Mall. I played Barbie Gets Eaten by Zombies because I saw Return of the Living Dead 2 probably way earlier in life than I ever should have. My Barbies started eating each other. And then I also played like Moses Barbie. Man, I was a weird kid. And, you know, so I was really into aliens and UFOs and watching documentaries, and if YouTube were a thing back then, like, I would be watching all of the conspiracy channels. Like, I would have totally been into that as a kid. And I was made fun of a lot. Like, people teased me to no end. They thought I was so weird. I actually had an alien-themed birthday party when I was, I think, in 6th grade. Maybe 5th, I'm not totally sure. Like, aliens were at my birthday party, and, you know, I was just totally into it. And there were parents that, like, thought I was too weird to hang out with their kids. There were other kids that were like, you're just really strange. So my mindset on that was I was really interested in, like, the Men in Black and Area 51. I wanted to be a man in black. Like, I wanted that to be my job. And so I figured, as a kid, if I gain all of this knowledge, by the time I'm an adult, they will have to hire me over at Area 51, or like, they will have to hire me because I will know everything. I even had this little like file in my drawer. I had like a drawer in our dining room. I keep hitting this ornament. And it was the UFO files, and it was drawings of aliens, horrible drawings of aliens and cows being abducted, and like me like writing little notes about what I thought. Basically, I just had a really good imagination, and I was like into something. But people thought I was weird, and I got teased to no end. And here's what's frustrating about that now. Guess what's totally the trend is talking on the YouTube internet, talking about aliens on the internet, wearing alien clothing and jewelry. You know what, like, the biggest thing at Hot Topic right now? I saw this bow that had aliens on it, and there's rings and necklaces and shirts and all kinds of stuff, and people are totally into it, and I got teased to no end. And now everyone's into it. I've had this horrible trend of like doing things like, example, I once wore leggings in 6th grade, same year. It was solely because the leggings had a stain on them, like kind of more towards the top. And so I just threw a skirt over it, and you know, the leggings with skirt look, I wore that and it looked cute. I thought I looked good. Reminded me of Stephanie Tanner from Full House, so you know, why not? I go to school, everyone and their brother makes fun of me for wearing leggings under a skirt. Like, I just heard about it all day. And I can remember going home and being like, I will never do that again. The very next year, I see one of the most popular girls wearing black leggings and like a blue jean mini skirt, a denim mini skirt, and that was the in thing with skater shoes. I was so mad because those are the people that had made fun of me for that. And then that same year, I was watching Anastasia, and I really liked the way Anastasia did her hair. So I threw my hair up. I think I've told this story, but I'm doing it again. Threw my hair up like this, kind of. And a girl had the audacity to pull me aside and say,
your hair looks really weird like that. You should only have a little bit down.
And you know, I liked my hair. I thought it looked cool, it was fun, it was weird. Like, I knew it was weird, but I did it because I liked it. The next 2 years, guess what comes into style is the scene girl having half of your hair down in the back, kind of pulled up. I will insert a picture right here if I can find one. That was in. 2 years later, everyone was doing it, and I had been teased for it. I've realized I am the original hipster. I did everything before it was cool, even if it's like 10 years or 20 years before it was cool. I did it. Okay, just had to get that off my chest. So this story takes place, I think I was in about 3rd grade, and I don't remember if I had like totally gotten into aliens. I think that was a little later, like 4th, 5th, and 6th grade was when I like had my UFO files. If you guys want, I'm gonna try to go home and find those. Maybe I can show you and you can like really realize how silly and weird I was as a kid. But at that time I was also in Girl Scouts. Now I loved Girl Scouts.
On my own, I will try to survive in my country to live by the Girl Scout law.
Loved Girl Scouts. We ended up doing like a camp out in my leader's backyard. So to be 100% honest, I was kind of scared of the dark, as you know, a lot of kids are. And so this was like a really scary thing for me. But like I remember having a really good time. I think we made s'mores like in the oven because she didn't have a fire pit, and we did like a scavenger hunt at her house and slept in tents in the backyard and played like hide and seek or sardines or something, and it was a lot of fun. There was just a moment where I wanted to like look at the stars because that area was very starry. It was before Reno got developed a lot, and I feel like now there would be a lot less stars over there. So I look up and you know, I'm kind of just staring at the sky. I think it's pretty. I've always loved stars. Like I think stars are really pretty. But I'm looking up and I see, I don't know how else to explain this. You're not gonna believe me, but I saw it and it freaked me out. I saw a shadow move across the sky, like a dark shadow. So you know how you can still see the moon when it's a new moon and it's all blacked out? It was essentially like that, but smaller. And it was moving really, really fast, but slow enough to where I could make it out on the sky. And I can remember just being like frozen in fear seeing this thing. It was circular and dark, and it looked like a shadow moving across the sky, which doesn't make sense because the sky is black, like the blackest of dark could be, I guess, and I see like an even darker thing moving above me, but I saw it. I didn't say anything to anyone because I think even at that age, I was like, no one's going to believe me. They're going to think I'm insane and seeing things. I just kept it to myself, but I can remember like laying in my sleeping bag and just being like, aliens saw me, the aliens saw me. And so I go home and I keep quiet about it for even a few more days because I'm just like, what did I see? Like, what do I do? What does this mean? And I remembered something. So in the movie Mars Attacks and in the movie Independence Day, which both I had seen, I learned that if an alien ship is landing somewhere and you have prior knowledge to where it is landing or where it is hovering, just in case we have another Mars attack situation, you want to get away from that area. You do not want to be in Pahrump, Nevada. You do not want to be near the White House. You don't want to be in any of those areas. Just at the off chance the aliens are mean. And I don't know, this all started like coming into my mind and I panicked. And I thought, they know that I saw them, they're gonna abduct me, they're gonna eat my brain. I didn't know. Finally, after like waiting a couple days, I just start bawling. I start crying. It's like my little, how old are you when you're in 3rd grade? Like 9? My little 9-year-old body just didn't know how to take this stress, and I just broke into tears. I go running. And you know when you're a little girl and you're close with your dad, you just like run up to daddy and he gives you a big hug when you're crying, and that's like the best thing ever. Well, I just beelined it to my dad, who was sitting on the couch watching television, and just started crying and unloading all of this stress onto my dad, who I can remember just looked at me and was like,
aliens are not gonna come after you.
But I was freaking out and I was so scared. And you know, I think I talked about in a previous video a long time ago that I was really terrified to sleep alone. That was the same year that the guy had been outside of my window, and I started like concocting all of these things, like maybe it was an alien because I saw the ship, horrified that the aliens were going to come and abduct me. So here's the other thing that I think I realized from watching Mars Attacks and Independence Day, which are like the 2 only alien movies I ever saw as a kid. Sometimes aliens are just jerks, and I think that's like one of the main points of Mars Attacks. If you watch it, they say, we come in peace. Then they shoot the bird and they shoot everyone. They didn't come in peace. They were just jerks. They had no other motive than to just be jerks and take over Earth and probably not even do anything with it because they couldn't even breathe our oxygen. They just were jerks. One of the best lessons I've ever learned was on Adventure Time. I think it's the episode where the Magic Man turns Finn into a foot or something, and Finn's like, oh, you did that so I would learn. And the Magic Man's like, no, I'm just a jerk. That's how I feel like aliens in my mind were. Like they just weren't nice, and they were gonna abduct me, and no one was ever gonna know it. I was in outer space, but that's what I thought would happen. I can't believe I'm sharing this story right now. To this day, The idea of aliens just freaks me out. I think to me it's like the same as like a kid being scared of the monster in the closet. Because sometimes I'll watch like Shane Dawson's conspiracy theory videos. Don't watch those if you're under like 16. But like, and he'll talk about aliens, and then I'll just be scared the rest of the night, and I'll be like, oh. And like, sometimes I'll hear noises, like cars are really loud, I think it's the way the buildings are built on this street next to me. So cars that drive by are just really, really loud, and sometimes I'll wake up from sleep and be like, oh no, it's happening, they're coming for me. Very silly, and it's not logical, but you know, everyone has weird, silly fears that aren't logical, and that is one of mine. So that's my story of how I saw a UFO, and I hope you guys liked it. Do you guys have any weird, silly, irrational fears based on something that happened to you as a kid? Let me know down in the comments. That'd be really interesting. Have you ever seen a UFO? Or could what I saw be something totally different? I am open to that because I just don't know, okay? Like, it's so hard to describe it, and you know, maybe I was seeing things, I don't know, but it happened and it terrified me on my very first camping trip in the backyard. So the fire alarm might be going off. Okay, well, that was scary. Fire alarm or something went off and now people are vacuuming. Okay, well, if you guys like this video, please don't forget to hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. My channel's still small, but it has been growing, and I know I've been kind of like not doing it, and I could get into that, but I feel like it's the same story as every time I've kind of just fallen out of YouTube. You know, sometimes it's hard getting inspired, and then there's other times where I feel really gross and I don't want to look at myself on camera, and then there's other times where I'm just busy. So I'm glad to be back right now, and I hope you guys will continue watching, subscribing, and liking. Thank you so much.
And Scrap says we hope you have a very good day today, and we'll see you next time. Bye.